The bite is pretty slow right now, so I decided to kind of look through some of the comments, on some recent comments at least. A lot of the comments right now are on graphs that are like how to use side imaging, 2D sonar, down imaging, those type of videos I put out in the past. And one of them was, a commenter said, hey, I just got a smaller boat. I think it was like a 16-foot John boat, if I remember right. They're looking for an affordable graph to put either, I can't remember if he said it had like a center console type of deal or if he was at the back of the boat, like a tiller. But he wanted one kind of at the back of the boat, a graph. And then eventually he wanted to put something on the bow of the boat. He said, what would you recommend for a smaller, more affordable graph, to work into kind of like a 14, 16-foot John boat? So here's the problem with smaller graphs. Smaller or like affordable graphs. I've done a few videos of how to find graphs for under 500 bucks. I just think manufacturers haven't been putting the best technology that you used to be able to get in to a $500 unit in recent years. In my opinion, the performance versus price, like if you got an economic scale, performance versus price, it just isn't there for new units in that $500, $600 range. And so what I recommended to this commenter was to actually look in the secondary market. Look on Facebook Marketplace, look on Craigslist, and you're looking for units that are 3 to 5 years old, because in my opinion, you can probably get a little bit bigger of a screen, so you're not just buying a 5-inch screen. You might be able to get a 7-inch or even a 9-inch screen from a unit that's 3 years old. You're probably going to get side imaging capability, because a lot of units now that are $500, like the Humminbird Helix 5, I used to recommend as a great unit. I don't think Humminbird, I think they discontinued that unit with side imaging. I think you can still get it, but it only has 2D sonar and down imaging, which sucks because it was a great beginner unit. Lowrance hook units are still pretty good for their money. I think they're probably, if I was going to recommend one unit for that $500 that's brand new, I think that's probably the only one. The Lowrance Hook 2 triple shot, I think it's called. They got pretty decent mapping. The Garmin Striker Vivid, which is I think a 5-inch screen, it's okay. The problem is it doesn't come with mapping, which I don't know why that doesn't happen, because I feel like Garmin could just throw Garmin owns Navionics, so they could just throw Navionics into it, which would probably be a really good unit. But to the best of my knowledge, they haven't done that yet. You want to look for used units. You're probably looking at the Garmin EchoMap series, the UHD, or even if you can find an EchoMap Plus. I used to run it on my old boat. The 7 or 9-inch screen, you're looking for the 7.3 SV or the 93 SV. SV stands for side view capability. So those units are going to be touchscreen. They're going to have 2D sonar, down view, down imaging, side view. They're going to be compatible with a Garmin trolling motor if you want to upgrade to that at some point. And they're going to be compatible with forward-facing transducer, the Garmin LiveScope. So typically, if you can find one that's 3, 4 years old, I wouldn't be surprised if you can pick one up for 500 bucks or maybe even less on Facebook right now. The Humminbird lineup, the Humminbird Helix, like Helix 7, a Helix 9, that was, let's say, a Gen 3, you might be able to find those units for 500 bucks or less on Facebook. As far as Lowrance goes, I would say the Lowrance Elite FS series, I think it is, like the Elite 7 or the Elite 9. Those units are probably 3, 4, 5 years old. Still really good units. You're going to be able to find fish with them, no problem. Side scan, down scan, 2D sonar, and they're going to have mapping system built in. Same with the Humminbird Helix model. The Lowrance units are not going to be compatible with forward-facing sonar. Like the Elite series, I don't think is compatible with their active target system. A brand new one might be, but if something that's 3, 4, 5 years old probably just doesn't have the tech built into it. The Humminbird, the Helix, if you get a Gen 3, you might be able to plug it into like the Mega Live Gen 1 version. I don't know for sure. It'll work with the Humminbird 360, so that's a good option. It can plug into the Minn Kotas, the trolling motors as well. So if you've got a smaller boat, 16-foot boat, I wouldn't even bother with brand new sonar. If you're not willing to spend, I would say at least $800. $800 you can get into the Garmin EchoMap UHD Gen 2s. When they go on sale, you can probably pick them up for about $800, $700-800, somewhere in there. But if you're not going to spend at least that, if you're looking for more that $500 price point, I would look for a used Garmin EchoMap series, either the EchoMap Plus, which is probably 5 years old now, or the EchoMap UHD, which I think first came out 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. 7-inch screens, 9-inch screens. They got the side imaging, down imaging, 2D sonar. They got built-in navionics. You can upgrade those too. You got to pay for the upgrade if you want to put different mapping systems on there, or different navionics mapping systems, I should say. They're touchscreen. They're compatible with LiveScope, compatible with Garmin force trolling motors, and they're compatible with power pole shallow water anchors. So in my opinion, that EchoMap series is probably the best bang for your buck on the used marketplace right now. And in my area, actually, let me just check right now. My area, there's quite a bit. I'm in the Twin Cities area. I'm on the eastern side. I'm in Wisconsin, but I'm pretty close. Actually, right behind me, that's Minnesota. So let's see, Garmin EchoMap. Garmin EchoMap, well, that's a 7.3. 550, but this one is a, let me screenshot this. So this should be important. If you're on Facebook or Craigslist and you're kind of figuring out, okay, what do I want? This unit says Garmin EchoMap UHD2, which is the newest one, but it says 7.3 CV. CV stands for clear view, so it's a down view only, down view 2D sonar. There's no side imaging. So be careful when you're looking at stuff here. This guy's selling 2 different units here. $450 for 2 units. He's got a Humminbird Helix 7 chirp side imaging. It's a Gen 2. And it's also going to come with a Garmin EchoMap DV is down view. So it's only got down view and 2D sonar. But that Helix 7, that would be a great option for at the helm or at the stern of the boat, for just scanning around with side imaging, finding brush piles, finding rock piles, weed edges. That's a great unit for under $500. So this is why I recommend, if you're going to be building a boat, smaller boat, under $500 budget, I would go used market. I would not try to buy new. It's just, in my opinion, it's not worth it. You don't get the best bang for your buck. Yeah, this is just kind of the Twin Cities area. Some pretty good deals to be had right now on those Garmin units and the Helix units. The Helix, Humminbird's discontinuing the Helix units, so even in the next couple of years, I would say like the Gen 3s and even the Gen 4s, they're going to be sold at some pretty steep discounts on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. So look out for those if you're trying to build a boat out. Now, the second part of this commenter's question was, okay, I got set up at the stern, side imaging, everything. What do I want at the bow? To answer that, I need to know, do you care if it's paired to your trolling motor? Do you want some sort of forward-facing transducer? Because that's going to determine, do you want the 2 units to link together? That's going to determine what you want at the bow. If you're going to go Garmin, let's say, at the stern, let's say you pick up a Garmin EchoMap 7.3 SV, put that at the stern of the boat, and you want it to be able to mark waypoints and have those waypoints show up on a screen at the bow of the boat, guess what? You're going to get a Garmin EchoMap unit at the bow of the boat. You're not going to put a Humminbird up there, not a Lowrance. It's going to be Garmin units. Same thing, if you put that Humminbird Helix 7, you put that at the stern of your boat on your 14-foot John boat or whatever, and you want one at the bow of the boat, and you want it to share waypoints, you're going to put a Humminbird Helix at the bow of the boat. And then that kind of pairs into the trolling motor. If you want to link up to the trolling motor, Humminbirds, they link to Minn Kotas. Lowrance links to Lowrance. Garmin goes to Garmin force trolling motors. So that's kind of how I would go about building out a smaller John boat if you really wanted to build it out to a really nice John boat. The commenter, I think, just sounded like, hey, I want to be able to share waypoints and then maybe have forward-facing sonar, or even, he said 360, I think, in the comment. So if you're going to go 360, Humminbird is the only option for a true 360 transducer, as of right now at least. I think in the future there might be some other manufacturers that come out with a 360 live version, I don't know. But if you want forward-facing sonar, I would go Lowrance, either the Lowrance TI series, or not the TIs, the Lowrance Lives HDS series. That's what you want. You might be able to find a Lowrance HDS that's used. It's probably not going to be 500 bucks, but you might be able to find one for like $700. Those are compatible with the Lowrance Active Target. And then obviously the Garmin EchoMap units are compatible with the Garmin LiveScope. So if you're looking on the used marketplace and you don't care about forward-facing sonar, you just care about side imaging, the Humminbird Helix lineup is going to be, there's going to be some really good deals in the next couple of years on Facebook and Craigslist. Otherwise, I would recommend the Garmin EchoMap series. Garmin sold a ton of those over the past like 5-6 years. And everybody's just kind of upgrading to better screen quality. Their Gen 2 UHD models are just a little bit better screen quality. There's more pixels compared to the Gen 1. So everybody's kind of just upgrading in terms of screen quality. So in the next few years, there's going to be some really good deals on Facebook and Craigslist for a lot of these units. So that's how I would build out a smaller boat. Hopefully that answered the commenter's question. I'm hoping the bite turns back on here a little bit. We're getting to the mid part of the day, so probably not, but I might jump in. It's supposed to get to like 90 degrees today. Anyway, hopefully that answers the commenter's question. If you guys got comments or questions about how to build out your boat, maybe you're in the process of building out your boat, you want to talk about wiring harnesses or units or transducers, post in the comment section down below, or you can message me on either Facebook or Instagram. I do appreciate hearing from you, and I try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. So good luck on the water this season. We'll see you in the next one.